Every NFL team has a headline, but the real story? It lives in the shadows, in the overlooked battles, the hidden warriors, and the names nobody talks about until they explode. The Seattle Seahawks might have just found one of those names, and what he's doing at training camp is turning heads fast. Something is brewing in Seattle, and no, it's not just about quarterbacks, flashy trades, or the return of star power. It's something deeper, something more unexpected. The kind of thing that real football fans live for. The Seahawks have officially kicked off training camp, and while the media's eyes are glued to the big names, there's a storm rising under the radar. A forgotten name, a quiet signing, and now, a camp standout. Anthony Bell. You might not know the name, and that's okay. Most people didn't, but that's about to change. Let's rewind for a second. Bell wasn't drafted. He came out of West Florida in 2022, and not many believed he'd make it in the league. But he clawed his way into the NFL, spent 3 gritty seasons with the Cleveland Browns, played over 1,000 snaps, and made his presence known on special teams and in 7 starts. No headlines, no hype, just pure heart and hard work. Now, he's in Seattle, and people are starting to talk. Coaches, players, reporters. You can feel it. Bell has arrived like a bolt of lightning, not asking for attention, but demanding it with the way he's performing. At 6'1", 211 pounds, he's looking like the perfect fit to be that third safety, the one who quietly becomes the soul of a tough, bruising defense. In a training camp full of questions, Bell has become an answer. And not just an answer, a spark. This is the kind of player that rebuilds are built on. Not just superstars, not just draft picks, but fighters. Guys who grind. Guys who rise up in August and force their name onto the depth chart. Yes, the Seahawks have made huge moves. They got Ernest Jones back to solidify the run defense. Mike McDonald, the brilliant defensive mind from Baltimore and Michigan, is now in full command. The system is changing. The mindset is shifting. This isn't a team content with 9 wins anymore. This is a team looking to shock people. And Anthony Bell? He's exactly the kind of underdog this city rallies behind. While most fans are focused on quarterback battles and wide receiver trades, like the big-time pickup of Kupp, the real magic is happening with guys like Bell. These are the players who make teams complete. The glue guys, the grinders, the unsung heroes. And in case you're wondering, there's more coming out of this camp. Like tight end Elijah Royal, another name already flashing, but we'll get into that soon. For now, remember this name, Anthony Bell. Because in a few weeks, he might not just be a camp story, he might be a starting safety on one of the most underrated defenses in football. Seahawks fans, how confident are you in this year's roster? Scale of 1 to 10. Drop your confidence level in the comments. And if you think Anthony Bell deserves a roster spot, let your voice be heard. Let's talk football. There's something special building in Seattle, and it's not just the big-name players grabbing headlines. It's the unexpected guys, the underdogs, the ones nobody talks about. Until now. Let's start with Elijah Arroyo, tight end, underrated, overlooked. But he's turning heads in camp. The way he moves, the way he competes. This guy looks like a sleeper pick that could become a real weapon in this offense. It's not just hype anymore. Seattle scouts saw something in him, and now it's showing up in live reps. Then there's Anthony Bell. We talked about him already, but his name keeps popping up. He's not just making plays, he's earning trust. Coaches, teammates, media, they're all starting to take notice. This is how rosters get built. Not just with stars, but with grinders like Bell who step in when it counts. But here's where things get really interesting, the offensive line. Everyone expected Seattle to go out and overhaul the whole unit. They didn't. They brought in one key piece, Gray Zabel. And just like that, the vibe changed. One player, That's all it took to start stabilizing a group that struggled last year. It's early, but Zabel is standing out, and not just in drills. He's changing how the entire line plays together. And what about Sam Darnold? Yeah, we've heard the jokes. But here's the truth. He's already showing control, leadership, and command of this offense. He's walking around like a guy who knows this might be his last shot, and he's not wasting it. On defense? Let's just say this. Derek Hall and Byron Murphy too look like monsters. Their strength, their explosiveness. You can't fake that. There's a tweet floating around just showing their leg power. It's absurd. These guys look like they were built in a lab. And when you add their aggression and hunger to an already underrated defense, you've got something scary. Now imagine this. Just 5 years ago, if someone showed you a picture of this Seahawks roster today, you wouldn't have believed it. Cooper Kupp in a Seattle uniform? Darnold running the offense? Bell and Arroyo flashing in camp? It sounds crazy, but it's real. And don't sleep on Kupp. He looks healthy, focused, angry. He's been written off too many times. But now, paired with a creative offense that knows how to use him, don't be shocked when he lights up the league again. The guy's still elite when he's healthy. And this year, he's coming in with something to prove. Here's the bottom line. Seattle doesn't need 22 superstars. They just need 4 or 5 guys to step up and be great. And right now, those 4 might already be emerging. So tell me, who's the most exciting name out of Seahawks camp so far? Is it the rookie tight end, the revamped offensive line, or the resurgence of Sam Darnold and Cooper Kupp? Drop your takes in the comments. I want to know. What's your confidence level in this Seahawks squad? 1 to 10, rate it now. It's simple. Sam Darnold has to be great. Not decent. Not okay. Great. This whole Seahawks plan? It hinges on just a few names, and Darnold's right at the top. You can feel it, right? The air around this team is different. But if this thing's gonna fly, Sam's gotta be the engine. You traded DK Metcalf. You brought in Cooper Kupp. That's bold. That's risky. But it only works if Darnold can actually deliver. Nobody's asking him to be Russell Wilson, and we're not expecting 2021 level Geno either. But we can't afford to swing and miss. You gave up a superstar wide receiver. Now you need to prove the backfill was smart. Cooper Kupp? He has to be Cooper Kupp. Because if Darnold and Kupp aren't producing, then this offense isn't going anywhere. But here's the good news. Kupp looks locked in, motivated, wronged, like a man on a mission. He's ready to explode, and that's a big deal. But you know what else changes everything? The offensive line. Early reports say it's clicking. That's huge. Because a strong O-line means you get Walker back in rhythm. It means Zach Charbonnet starts pounding the rock. It means you start punishing defenses with physical football. That opens up play action. That gives Darnold space. That gives Kupp room. And then, you've got something special. Let's not forget the defense, second year under Mike Macdonald. Ernest Jones, that young, sharp secondary, and some veteran leaders. This defense could quietly become a monster. All the pieces are here. And look, no hate to Geno. He earned our respect. He helped bridge the gap. But sometimes, you just need to flip the page. Lions fans know this feeling. The new DC doesn't erase the old guy, but it brings new energy, a new vision. That's what Darnold brings now. New energy, new chapter, new chance. This isn't about blaming the past. It's about seizing the future. Let me hear from you. Can Darnold really pull this off? Is this the team that finally breaks through? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you've been watching this far, you already know. This team is being slept on, but not by us. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and buckle up. Seattle's coming.